Today, we're blind tasting the top 10 best-selling single malts in the US to find out which ones actually deliver in the glass and which ones might just be coasting on brand recognition.
Before we do though, we have a very special announcement at the end of this video, so make sure you watch until the end. Now, a lot of you have been asking how you can support this channel, and the easiest way is by grabbing something from our merch store. We design everything ourselves, and every sale helps us do more blinds like this.
And since we're deep into Scotch today, we have to shout out our great Scotch tea. Perfect for anyone who loves single malt but won't commit to wearing a kilt in public. The link is in the description below, including a 10% off code for your first order. Grab one, rock it, and help us keep the blind tastings rolling.
Ryan, I cannot wait to see the comments section light up with my horrible Scotch pronunciations. The Glenmorangie, I love to drink it, I don't like to pronounce it. But you know what? We're gonna make amends today.
A single malt must be made from 100% malted barley and produced at one single distillery. But it can use multiple casks, warehouses, and batches.
By law, Scotch must be aged a minimum of 3 years in oak barrels, anywhere in Scotland.
Most single malts are distilled twice in copper pot stills, but a few distilleries, like Glenkinchie, triple distill.
Scotland has 5 major single malt regions: Highlands, Speyside, Islay, Lowlands, and Campbelltown, plus the informal Islands region. So some of these scotches that we're gonna see are gonna be a little bit on the lighter side because they don't use brand new charred oak casks. They use casks that have been used before.
Oh, I get straight up peaches and green apples.
I get a lot of green apples. We're gonna get that a lot with Scotch.
True, fair enough. But the fruit is like right up front on this one.
It's very prevalent. I'm getting a lot of green apples dunked in just a little bit of caramel. So maybe not dunked, maybe just like sprayed. Maybe a little like, maybe some caramel just fell on it. Maybe I was chewing caramel and I accidentally spit on the apple. That's what I'm getting.
I don't know if I want to drink that. No, this is very pleasant though.
Yeah, it smells like a quintessential Scotch.
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I think this is a pretty solid start. I don't know if this is gonna be my favorite, but right now I'm leaning towards 7.
That's the exact number I had in my head. Oh, that was nice.
That was very nice. I'm getting a lot of chocolate malt. A lot of chocolate malt. For all the apple notes that I got on the nose, I'm getting so much chocolate.
I got a lot of the fruit up front and then a lot of the chocolate on the back. That was a really nice progression.
I'm getting less fruit and more chocolate malt notes on this. Honestly, the finish is a little on the lighter side. I didn't get a lot on the finish, but I am getting a lot of flavor up front. I'm gonna guess this is Aberlour because this does have a lot of like that chocolate notes.
Yeah, I think for me on the palate, I'm gonna go 6 on this one. I enjoyed the finish. I think it developed a little bit. So I'm gonna go with a 7 for the finish.
All right, Ryan, so you know what? I'm gonna flip it on you. I'm gonna go 7 on the palate and 6 on the finish.
So we end up with the same score, just got there different.
Hey, sometimes that's how life works. So even though we got there differently, we both scored this a 20. So 40 total for this mystery bottle. Aberlour 12.
Holy shit.
There you go. I called it, my friends. You know, I'm a big fan of Aberlour. Honestly, I probably should have scored it a little higher because I really do enjoy those chocolate notes. And I felt like that was quintessential Aberlour for me.
Look at that.
So this one is super light.
Yeah, this one's almost see-through, like my underwear.
Thanks. Thanks for that, Ryan. I've always wondered what kind of underwear you have, and I did not expect it to be see-through.
Now you know.
Huh.
So I'm getting like grassy vanilla notes on this one.
Yes, I was gonna say like pine. I'm getting grass, pine, those types of like really, you know, grassy floral notes.
Yeah, this one's much less fruit forward than the one we just tried. Although now I am picking up a little bit of like pear in there.
You know what I'm getting more of is caramel than the typical green apple fruit. It is nice and refreshing and enjoyable. I'm gonna give this a 6.
I think I'm leaning towards a 6 on this one. On par again. I get a ton of fruit in there now.
Yeah?
Vanilla on the back end. I got a little bit of sour note on the finish.
So this is what I'm getting, Ryan. I am getting honey dipped pear. You went with the pear on the nose? I'm getting a lot of pear here on the flavor. And it kind of evolves into coffee notes and malt.
I think for the palate on this one, I'm gonna go with a 5. And the finish, I liked it at first, but the more it sat, the more I didn't like it. So I'm gonna go with a 4.
Wow,
on the finish.
You little harsh man over here. I will say that I actually enjoyed the finish of this one more than Aberlour.
How about that?
I actually, to me, morphed a little bit more. And I love that. I love when it feels like I'm going through a journey when I'm drinking my whiskey. I'm gonna give it a 5 on the palate and a 7 on the finish.
Look at that. Eddie gave it an 18, I gave it a 15, so it lands at a 33, currently in second place. Glenfiddich 12.
I feel like I gave it too much credit. I don't know what I did.
That's the beautiful thing about blinds is that you don't know the label, so you're just judging it purely on what you're getting.
That's right.
So a little interesting fact about Glenfiddich is that it was actually the first brand to market single malt as a category in the US back in the 1960s.
Yeah, so we have Glenfiddich to thank for all these wonderful scotches that we're drinking today.
That's super light.
This is the lightest I think that we've had.
Yeah.
What kind of shenanigans is it? Is this water?
It could be.
Man, this might be light in color, but it has a lot on the nose going on.
It does. Again, I get a lot of grassy type notes in here. I get peaches in this one.
I still get some pear. I get just a lot of pear. I get a lot of ethanol. I'm not getting a lot of like complexity. I'm getting a lot of smells in here, but I think it's mostly the alcohol and the like pear notes talking to me. I think that for the nose, I am gonna give this one a 3.
I'm gonna go with a 4 on this one. It's probably been my least favorite nose so far. That reminds me of a white wine. Now, I typically enjoy Scotch neat, but I think this one would be great on an ice cube in the summer.
See, I'm getting a lot of coffee notes on this, like full on coffee. From the front to the back and everywhere in between. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting like coffee latte with a little hint of like this fruit note, it's just kind of lingering there, but it's mostly coffee, full and center. I think this will go great with some coffee in the morning, right before work.
In a thermos.
No one has to know what's in there.
Nope. I did enjoy that more than I enjoyed the smell of it. So I'm gonna bump it up a step. I'm gonna give it a 6 on the palate. I think a 5 on the finish.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go 6 on the palate, 5 on the finish. With your 15 and my 14, that equals 29 points total for this mystery bottle. Glenlivet 12.
Look at that, no kidding.
Glenlivet 12 to me is not the best of the scotches that we're gonna try tonight. And this kind of solidified it for me. It's really light, it's very mellow, doesn't have a lot going on.
So Glenlivet 12 is actually the best-selling single malt in the US.
You know, after covering all the tier lists that we have, Ryan, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Because people like bad stuff. So Ryan, either this is getting lighter and lighter, or I'm getting drunker and drunker.
I think you're getting drunker, but it's also getting lighter. Ooh, I like this.
Very citrusy.
Yes. You know what I'm getting in this one? Cantaloupe.
I was about to say the same thing.
Are you serious?
I was about to say I'm getting like oranges and cantaloupe.
Look at that.
Look at that, Ryan. We are in sync, at least in our, right here.
Ton of cantaloupe, a little bit of citrus. This has a really nice nose. I think I'm gonna give this one an 8.
An 8, wow. You know what, Ryan? It's because I fall into peer pressure like a sumbitch. I'm gonna give this an 8 as well.
Yeah. You guys don't see the gun under the table.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
This entire time, I was fooled. This has some nice flavors in there. The nose kind of matches the palate a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of caramel and honey in there, but still a lot of that cantaloupe and a little citrus note. To me, the finish wasn't as long and as complex as I expected. I'm gonna give this a 6 on the palate and a 5 on the finish.
You know what's interesting for me on this one is that the palate was good, but the finish I thought was even better. I'm gonna go, I think, a 6 on the palate, and I think I'm gonna give it a 7 on the finish. All right, so you scored it a 19, I scored it a 21. That puts it at a 40, tying it with Aberlour 12. It is the Glenfarclas 12.
Ah, okay.
So you know one thing I love about Glenfarclas 12 is that it's still one of the few fully family-owned Scotch distilleries owned by the Grant family since 1865. All right, we got another blondie here.
I'm getting a color of like, you've had a few vitamins in you and you've probably had 1 P, but this is a 2nd P.
This one smells very different than what we've been smelling. Maybe it is urine.
No, I'm getting some nutty notes on this and butter. I'm getting a lot of butter. And I'm getting some hints of citrus.
I am picking up a little bit of like a peppery
Yes.
note in here.
On the nose, I'm gonna give this a 7.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
7 for me.
We're just so easily swayed.
That was very buttery.
Very buttery.
It's evolving on the back end too, into like more of a fruity type.
I think that this is the one that I've enjoyed the most so far. It has the most complexity and nuance I'm very much enjoying this. I'm probably gonna give this an 8 on the palate and a 7 on the finish.
I'm going 8 and 8 on this one.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I really enjoyed this one.
With Ryan's 23 and my 22, that averages out to a 45, which means that this is now in first place. Glenkinchie 12.
Wow. That one just blew my mind.
This is very shocking. I did not expect that from this.
So the first time in several pours, I think we're going a little darker here.
It is a little darker.
So the interesting thing with Scotch is that the color could be from the barrel, but unlike bourbon where you can only put water in it, Scotch is allowed to put caramel coloring in it. So that can sometimes affect the color of it too.
This is another citrusy one.
So the first thing I got was a little bit of a peppery note, but there is definitely citrus in there, like more orange.
I'm gonna rank this a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Those coffee notes are coming back to me.
Yes, coffee, a little bit of chocolate.
This to me hits all the notes that I want in a Scotch in a very sort of layered way. It doesn't have any like real uniqueness, but again, it feels and tastes like a quintessential Scotch. I'm getting some hints of green apple, a little butter. I'm getting that sort of dark chocolate malt and coffee finish. This to me is what I would compare like an Eagle Rare to bourbon. This to me is what it is for Scotch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bold statement. This one's a little confusing to me because it was good, but not great for me. I'm probably gonna give it a 4 on the palate and maybe a 6 on the finish because it did turn into something a little bit more complex, but yeah, this one wasn't my favorite so far.
All right, well, we're gonna be in a little bit of a disagreement here.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna go with 7 on the palate and 7 on the finish.
Wow.
Yeah, I enjoyed this a good amount.
Well, with your 20 and my 15, that puts this bottle at a 35. This one, sir, is the Balvenie 12.
I feel like this was it. This is the quintessential Scotch. It might not be the best, it might not blow anybody's mind away, but this to me is classic Scotch. Balvenie 12 was released in 1993 and it helped popularize secondary cask finishing in Scotch. And that is probably why I get some of these layered experiences when I drink this. And I like to think that is due to 2 barrels coming together in perfect harmony and this marriage of love in Scotland. All right, we're back to the blondies.
We sure are.
This is like your 3rd pee of the day after taking vitamins.
So I'm actually getting more like alcohol
Yes.
than anything in this one.
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm getting a lot of that ethanol alcohol smell.
Yep.
There's not a lot going on here. I mean, there is some green apple slightly there. I hardly get any oak. I'm a little disappointed in this. This is probably my weakest nose today.
Hands down.
I'm gonna give this a 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 3.
Okay, you just wanna go against me, Ryan.
I do.
You're like my wife.
I'm getting some kind of sort of like a peach vanilla sort of combo.
This gave me feels of like butter pecan and a little citrus on the finish. Again, that malt that you typically get, some of those coffee notes and chocolate notes in the finish. This was much better than I expected it to be. I'm gonna say that this is a 7 on the palate
Okay.
and a 6 on the finish.
I'm actually going complete opposite.
Wow.
6 on the palate, 7 on the finish.
With your 16 and my 15, that is 31 points for this mystery bottle. Glenmorangie 12.
So we just had the Glenmorangie 12 for years, maybe even decades. The Glenmorangie 10 was their flagship bottle, but now it's replaced with the 12-year.
Good, I'm glad that they got on the 12-year train. Macallan did it, now Glenmorangie is following the trend, and I like it. The older, the better, that's what I always say.
Look at that color, that's a deep amber.
That is getting darker now. We're talking, this is probably the darkest that we've had so far.
Yeah.
This is impressive with an asterisk because this very well might just be food coloring.
I feel like this is the type of thing you find a mosquito in, and then you start making a bunch of dinosaurs.
What? I'm getting a good nose on this, man. I'm getting a lot of vanilla notes on this.
Yes.
At least on the nose, I feel like this is a bourbon drinker's Scotch.
You know what I'm actually getting for the first time today?
What?
Cherries. More red fruit than I've gotten all day. I'm getting a slight hint of butterscotch in here too.
All right, I know what number I'm gonna give this, Ryan.
I'm enjoying this. I think I'm gonna give it a 7.
I was gonna say 7 too.
Yeah?
Gosh darn it, Ryan, you said it first.
Huh. Very quick finish.
Very quick. It's not bad. but the finish is groundbreakingly fast. I got some notes of caramel and vanilla. This probably was the most different Scotch that we've had in this list so far. But it just ended. It was just like,
yeah, that was it. It was in and out.
I will have to say that I'm gonna give this a 5 on the palate and a 2 on the finish.
I'm right there with you, except I'm gonna go 4 on the palate and 2 on the finish. I wasn't crazy about this. You know, it was promising with the nose and then very disappointing on the taste.
Oh, I'm gonna make a guess.
Okay.
Dalmore 12 is known for their caramel coloring. All right, a lot of people poo-poo them for that, and I'm gonna be one of those people today. I feel like this is Dalmore 12, and I am not happy with this drink.
I was thinking the same exact thing, that there's no question in my mind that it's Dalmore 12. So the final tallies, you gave it a 14, I gave it a 13, so it ended up at a 27, which I believe puts it in last place. This little bad boy here was indeed Dalmore 12.
Boom!
Just the color alone and the lack of flavor was a huge signal, because if you're gonna get color like that from the oak, you're gonna have much more depth to it.
All right, we got another darker one here.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh my gosh, the nose on this is fantastic.
Wow.
At least the nose has me a little perked up, Ryan.
Yeah.
It has me a little excited.
This, for the first time today, I'm getting brown sugar, vanilla, I'm getting a little bit of oak. What you'd expect from a sherry cask, like the red wine or red berries. There's a lot of different things going on here and I love it.
Oh, this is getting hot. See, I'm getting some pear notes. I'm getting apple. I am getting brown sugar and vanilla. This is complex.
So for the nose, I'm giving this thing a 9. I love it.
Ryan. I'm gonna give it an 8, just to go against you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think that was caramel coloring.
No. I'm getting a lot of flavor in this.
So I'm getting way more citrus on the palate than I was in the nose.
This is like an orange peel dunked in caramel, and then you just take a little nibble. Because if you take too much of it, it's too much citrus.
Too much.
Yeah, but this is just right. I'm gonna give it a 9 on the palate and a 9 on the finish.
Me too.
Oh!
I'm giving it 9s across the board.
With your 27 and my 26, that equals a 53, which plants this bottle, I believe so far, in first place.
I think I know what this is.
I do too.
Yeah.
You wanna say it on 3?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Macallan.
Yeah! Macallan 12.
I always knew I loved Macallan, but we've never done it in a blind like this before. And this only confirms it. And I'm so glad, because I've done nothing but hype Macallan since I started drinking. It was actually my introduction to whiskey.
This is a very unique nose.
Very. I'm actually getting some caramel in here.
I'm getting like the slight hint, I was gonna say of plastic. I'm getting like action figures. We're getting like 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm getting Tamagotchi in here. You know when you open up the twister board?
Yeah, I'm getting like some light hint of grass and a little hint of like green apple. I'm gonna give it a 4 on the nose.
That's exactly what I was gonna give it.
I'm getting a little hint of that green apple, but just smothered in butter, almost like an apple pie.
Ooh.
It is a little bit more subdued than I like on the flavor, but the finish is pretty long and it's giving me a little something to work with. The finish leans more into those coffee notes for me. It's nice, it's a nice pour.
I'm thinking I'm gonna give this a 5 on the palate. It's very middle of the road for me. I'm also gonna give it a 5 on the finish.
I'm a little bit higher on this. I'm gonna go 6 on the palate and 6 on the finish.
Well, you landed on a 16, I landed on a 14. So this one's gonna get a 30 for bottle number 10. Singleton 12.
So interestingly, this is one bottle that every region is gonna have a little different experience with. So if you hate on us for giving it this rating, then you don't know what you're talking about, because you don't know what we're drinking. And now, our rankings.
Coming in at number 10 is Dalmore 12 with 27 points.
Number 9 with 29 points is Glenlivet 12.
Next at number 8 with 30 points, we've got Singleton 12.
With 31 points, we got Glenmorangie in 7th place.
At number 6, we've got Glenfiddich 12 with 33 points.
Number 5 with 35 points is Balvenie 12.
At number 4, we had Glenfarclas 12, and this was actually a tie with 40 points, but it had a slightly lower palate score than our number 3.
And at number 3, with a score also of 40, but with a higher palate score, is Aberlour 12.
Coming in at number 2, and probably the biggest surprise on this list for me personally, was Glenkinchie 12 with 45 points.
And our number 1 ranked blind tasting with 53 points, blowing all of them out of the water, is the Macallan 12.
And it wasn't particularly close either.
It was not. It was a surefire win from Macallan. I was surprised because I started hearing the words and the whispers out there in the stratosphere that Macallan is overhyped. And I started to believe it until I tried it blind with all the other bottles. I was very surprised at how good it was.
Yeah.
So now you've seen how the best-selling single malts stack up when the labels disappear. Tell us in the comments which bottles you think deserve their ranking and which ones were huge surprises.
And we promised a special announcement, and it's a doozy. Barrel Hunters is closing in on 10,000 subscribers. And as a thank you, we will host our first live stream where we drink, share behind the scenes stories of our shenanigans, and interact directly with you.
Our goal has always been to create a community for whiskey lovers to enjoy, and once we reach 10,000 subs, we'll be one step closer. So please consider subscribing to our channel.
And if you want more blind tastings, we've got some more for you linked on the screen. Head on over and we'll see you there. Until next time, cheers.